Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Franklin Garza, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about food waste. Another FYI, I'm the membership VP, so you'll probably be getting a lot of emails from me this semester, so I am very sorry if those bother you. But anyways, let's talk about some food waste. So part of being an Aggie Eco Rep, I'm sure you guys have already seen this, especially if you showed up to the meeting. Or the retreat the other day, is sustainability. And today we are going to be specifically talking about environmental sustainability, because food waste has to do with the planet specifically. So food waste defined. Food loss refers to a decrease in quantity or quality of food. Food loss in the production and distribution segments of the food supply chain is mainly caused by the functioning of the food production and supply system or its institutional and legal framework. Yep, there it is, a little bit bolder. Another important part of food loss is called food waste, and this refers to the removal of food from the food supply chain, which is fit for consumption, or which is spoiled or expired, mainly caused by economic behavior, poor stock management, or neglect. So through the food supply chain, we have first of all production, which during or immediately after harvesting on the farm. So food left behind via poor harvest methods and equipment, and food discarded because of appearance. That's how it can be wasted on the production side. After that, we have handling and storage, which is where the produce leaves the farm for handling, storage, and transport. And the way we could waste it here is they'd let it degrade for too long if they're not quick about it. Next up is processing and packaging. This has to do with, the industrial domestic processing and packaging parts where they're getting it all ready to go to ship out to stores and stuff like that. And here it's mostly damages or an excess order, because if they have too much, they can't all fit in the bag and they'll just throw it out just because honestly it's cheaper for them. Another is distribution market, which this is literally just selling it at this point. In a lot of places, there is a ton of edible food that is just going to waste just because like, this apple has a brown spot. Or you look at a sticker and you're like, it's expired. And the last is consumption, as if people are, buying too much, they're not eating it, and they're just throwing it out, they're letting it mold. Like that is a lot of food that could be going to actual use. So here are some facts, figures, and projections. On weight basis, a third of the food is wasted globally. So 1.3 billion tons. Just think about that for a minute. Yeah. On a caloric basis, that's 24% of all food is wasted globally, which there's a lot of hungry people that could be going to. And so in the developed world, we account for 52% of global food waste. North America and Oceania together account for 14% of global food waste, with 30% of per capita wastage totals. And there's also, most of the waste is produced in the retail and consumption area. In the developing world, which is all the spots in red, that's 48% of the global food waste. Let's see, I believe that means Southeast Asia, not entirely sure what SEA, but it accounts for 23% of global food waste, with 8% of per capita wastage. And most of this is produced during the production and handling part, excuse me. So some facts, figures, and projections of food waste. Of the total food produced by NANO, 42% of it is wasted. In North America, 39% is wasted at the consumer level, which is the highest. And don't worry if I'm going a little bit too fast for you guys, these PowerPoints will also be sent out as well. I guess technically today, because that's hopefully when you'll be viewing it. And then here is some more figures and projections just based on food waste. And as you can see, the loss in waste by weight is mostly fruits and vegetables, because those typically expire a lot faster in grocery stores, whereas by the kilocalorie, it is going by cereals, because carbs are where a lot of the calories are mostly stored. So, bread. Some more facts, figures, and projections. There's misappropriation of available funds. So food waste at the consumption stage costs an average of $1,600 per year for a family of 4 in the United States. So that $1,600 could have been saved for something else. The greenhouse emissions from this food waste yields, just in 2009 alone, 3,300 to 5,600 metric tons. And water consumption It's about 173 billion cubic meters that is wasted. About 24% of all water is used in agriculture. And so based on the data from 2010, the United States alone is estimated to waste 30 to 40% of its own food supply. Now, this isn't comprehensive, but it is a starting point for us to kind of quantify what's going on. 40 million tons of food is wasted every year. And that's about the equivalent of 1,000 Empire State Buildings. 31% of this is at the retail and consumer level, and 219 pounds per person. So there's also household and consumer food waste, such as food spoilage. You know, if you're like impulse buying, like, oh man, you know what, I'm definitely gonna eat apples this week, even though you don't, and then you buy it. Well, if you just let it sit there, obviously it's gonna rot. Improper food storage, if you don't know how to properly store fruits, vegetables, breads, whatever it is, it's more likely to go bad faster, as well as just forgotten food. Also throwing away food exclusively on assumed expiration dates. Kitchen mishaps and food scraps, although those are a little bit harder to control, especially the kitchen mishaps. So, and then excess food during restaurant outings or catering events. We know you guys want to go out to eat and have a good time, but do keep in mind how much you think you can actually finish, you know? And then we have a video here, which Adam ruined expiration dates. Just to kind of sum it up short, expiration dates, essentially what they mean, they're just telling you when the food tastes the best. That doesn't actually tell you when they're expired. Companies do this specifically so they'll be like, oh wow, these Lay's chips are amazing. But then if you were to buy it after that expiration date, they'd taste a little bit staler, but they're actually still edible. They haven't gone bad at all. But anyways, we'll have the PowerPoint attached so you can watch this video if you have the time. So anyways, here's some solutions to reducing food waste. Start shopping consciously and mindfully, which, you know, like meal plan, have staple meals in rotation, just kind of like, if you know how much you can eat, so plan around that. Don't buy perishable foods in excess. Try to buy only what you need. And stock up on non-perishable foods. A lot of times people don't get canned food for just because they think canned food doesn't taste as good. I can tell you right now that it really does. Also, try buying produce on sale because that is most likely to be discarded. And like I said earlier, the expiration date isn't actually the real expiration date. So they will probably last longer than you think. Also, try to portion it appropriately for yourself. You can have a friend for accountability. That way you guys can tell each other, oh, hey, you know, Jessica, you know you're not going to eat all that, I don't know, pineapple, for instance. Store food appropriately. You need to look up and learn proper ways to store food. That way you're just not, like if you buy something the next day, not like, oh, wow, mold, lovely. Like, geez, goes bad quick if you don't refrigerate it, guys. Order only what you know you can eat, especially for buffet settings. And nowadays, requesting takeout is especially important with COVID going on. And then compost organic matter, like food scraps. You know, especially exclusively plant matter with the exception of egg shells. I cannot pronounce this today, sorry guys. And Howdy Farm takes compost actually right now. So anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. I hope you feel like you've learned a lot, and I will see all of you guys hopefully in my committee. Have a good one. How I